Good evening, brothers. This is the repass after the eulogy. So I did that eulogy video earlier this morning. My self-care Saturday is over. Got the hair done. And decided to walk in my middle yard. So I haven't been back here in like a while. Well, I have, but I haven't really like walked back here in a while. But I do like the changing the colors and everything else like that. The previous owner used to raise horses, so I think this area was like fenced in or something like that. So he has all these posts around. But yeah, this is my middle yard, and I've been thinking about, like, I think I've talked about the garage a couple videos back, but put a garage there. And when you guys see, like, this is the so this is not the tree line that you would see from, like, say, my backyard or from the house. The tree line that you see from the house is over there, and then you see this is the field in the middle, and then this is the middle yard, and then that tree line starts the backyard. But I've been thinking about putting a house back here at some point, kind of a little bit further back from the street, which is like all the way up there. Like, you can kind of see a building through the trees there. Where the fuck is my dog? Ah, shit, I gotta buy another one. Oh no, shit, there she is. So, oh, let's talked in the last one about cycles. As one ends, another one begins. And, you know, we hear about the purity of the space and things like that. And I used to really be on that type of stuff myself in terms of, like, guarding it. But after a while, like, you really can't. There's not much you can do about it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not, I won't say in your control. You can sway one or two people. But if they don't want to go, they don't want to go. And you're also dealing with, you know, bigger entities and structures, organizations that, you know, their business is to program, you know, people. You know, that is their number one goal. And I think about transitioning, you know, the next, what's next after this space for myself, for other people. Oh, by the way, when I come back here, this is where I shoot. I usually shoot like from there to the post, and there's like a mini berm right in there somewhere. And I just shoot into that mound. So, and behind here is like probably about 600 feet. So 2 football fields, kind of say, like from the tree line, 2 football fields back. I own that. And it goes to the, there's a municipal airport on the other side. But anyways, transitioning. What's next? Not what's next so much for Young Grizzly, because I don't really know. And I'm still, like, you know, moving and figuring things out. As I said, you know, more immediate plans is getting stuff here and all that other stuff. But what's next for Young Grizzly in terms of, like, the space? What's next for the space in terms of the space? You know, the Black Manosphere and things like that. I mean, people are gonna not just physically pass, which is we've had quite a few losses this year, but also just mentally pass and transition out of this shit and not wanting to do this anymore and not wanting to, you know, oh yeah, this is my second pond. Yeah, I really don't come back here enough. And there's a path. You can go all the way around that thing too. It's usually best to walk it in the winter when everything's dead. So in another couple months, like, you can really easily walk it. You can walk it now, of course, but I ain't doing that shit. But yeah, what's next for this space? What do the people want? What do the audience want? You know, I've said it before. You know, with the Purple Pill Wars, there will be no winners. I think, you know, in a sense, the Purple Pillars will, in a sense, win and absorb most of the other people. And we as MGTOW hardliners, red pillars, MGTOW monks, SYSBM, all this other shit, will be seen as more of a, as not weirdos, but will be ostracized. Just like we're currently already ostracized in so many ways, or in some factors or ways. But I think it's going to be one of those things where, as it just gains, mass appeal, it'll get diluted. And people that talk this stuff on a regular basis will say, hey, I'm not that hard about this, or I don't believe it's like, this is not normal, and things like that. And, we'll see where this space goes. And I think it'll go the way of, quote unquote, dwindling out. The blue pillars will become somewhat extremist, or just disappear and really absorb into the purple pill. A lot of people will pick the in-between, and we'll see where a lot of those people that pick the in-between will become the new blue pillars. All right, so your purple will become blue and stuff like that. And it'll start it all over again, because there will be something else. Another issue to solve, another social contract that might be broken or formed, forming the new and next social contract as women just say, hey, I want my autonomy, I want children, but let's work out a deal. I think more and more deals will happen. This is very beautiful. More and more deals will happen. I think more and more people will start to strike a deal and say, hey, I don't want to not have kids. I want to have lineage, but I don't want to be raked over the coals. And then the woman says, hey, I want to have kids. You seem like you're decent, but I do want to have my own autonomy. And I do want to have children, but I don't want to do it alone, because that's not soft life. That is not the life I want to live. I don't want to complain about, the bed that I made and lay in it and stuff like that. I do want to be subsidized. And, the government will probably facilitate said deals, and really it's the people that facilitate these deals. And they say, hey, I'm not going to break this deal, this contract. I'm not going to break this contract, so to speak. I'm going to uphold it. And I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to find some way to hurt you, find some way to disrespect you, or, go against what we talked about. And I think more and more people will start to make deals. More and more people will start to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense, and it's not working out for both of us. We're living longer, and we have to deal with things differently. And I have to make sure that even in my older age, I can actually still sustain myself. Another thing is, like, what's going to happen with freaking walking after you eat. Not the greatest thing. And that was probably the rudest thing to do on a video, but whatever. But I think it's going to get to a point where deals will be made. And how will we all work with one another? How will older people make it through? Wait for the train. It's worse than like airplanes. You just get used to it after a while, but that's another reason why I want to move back here. And then I also want, like, say, the building itself to be a little bit better sound, like just a little bit more sound retardant, or sound, or some more sound suppression. So that'll be nice. But yeah, as I was saying, people are gonna want to make the deal. What's gonna happen to older people, like, when you're 60, 70 something years old? There's gonna be a lot of people that just won't have anything, that'll be totally fucking broke, and they're just going to be in a bad position. They're going to be, like, really bad off. And how are you going to deal with that? How is the economy going to deal with that? And is it the economy's responsibility? Because we have all these millennials with all this, school loan debt. Like, if they have school loan debt and they're having a hard time paying it. I mean, think about it. Do they even like, you know how they say, do you even lift, bro? Like, do they even invest? You know, did they put anything in their 401ks? Are they taking the employer match? Sorry for the wind. I know it sounds a lot, like a little bit of wind will sound like a lot out here. But do they take the employer match? Do they do any of that stuff? So we're going to see as, again, we transition. Because, again, I've said it multiple times, you know, I'm getting closer to 40. You know, and I think about these things, being a temporal-minded man, looking towards the future, 5 years ahead. I try to, quote unquote, live my life like I'm 42, live it like I'm golden, you know, and put myself in a position, or think about the position that I want to be in later on in life. So this is the field I always talk about. So I want my garage, and then what I might do is have like a walkway or breezeway or something like that, a corridor that I could walk from the garage into the house and have it connected. So I wanted a bigger barn dominium, but I might not really need it. Like, there's no point in having a 3,100 square foot garage and then this big ass freaking barn dominium as well. And there my dog goes again. But I've been thinking about that. What's gonna happen next? What's the transition look like? You know, what's the afterlife? The after red pill life. You know, like, how does that look? What do we do? How do we move? How do we talk to one another? How do we communicate? What new words will be out? What new discoveries will we make? What will be the result of years and years of single parent households, mainly single mothers? What are the kids going to look like? How are they going to react to us? How are they going to treat us in this space or on YouTube and talk about us and things like that? How are we going to accept them? Is it going to be the same as boomers and Xers talking to us or talking down to us, talking with us, helping guide us? Are we going to be ready to help guide them? You know, will we ever get to a point where we talk about the quote unquote upper echelons of conversation? You know, I think about things like that. Not always, you know, not seriously. But I think, like, what's next? Will I be prepared for it? How can I prepare for it? Is it something to even really prepare for? Anyways, loose thought. I guess I'll name this say this is a ramble or something like that. I do need to get to more tech content or get back to it. Do got to finish up in that workshop. I was thinking about how I'm going to do that. I gotta get the power in there and then get the floors done. Once the power and the floor is done, that thing is complete. But I should be able to get it paid off too. So I'm really excited about getting that done. And then I can work on paying off the house and doing some other stuff. I've always wanted to buy the property next to me. It's like 30 acres and just nothing over there. But it would be nice, and then join it to this property. So there's nothing really there, and then maybe I can sell it back to the county years later. That'd be fucking hilarious. But anyways, with that being said, thank you as always. Wish you the best. Love you all. And be safe and think ahead.